This Friday, it's coming back. Journey with America's master storytellers to the Twilight Zone.
Wednesday, an innocent child kidnapped. A desperate mother with only one place to turn.
I'm the man you called.
Their only hope, The Equalizer, Wednesday.
This is CBS.
Unit 1 at 3 Mile Island stays shut down while legal arguments continue. That story headlines Action News tonight. Next.
Some people have a hard...
Ford at your Central Pennsylvania Nissan Datsun dealer.
This is WLYH TV, serving Reading.
Live from WLYH TV, this is Action News Tonight, your best source for news, sports, and weather in the Pennsylvania heartland. Now for Action News, here's Cliff Eschbach.
Good evening. It's Tuesday, September 24th. Steve Ross is on vacation. In the news, there's a local address you can use to send donations for Mexican earthquake relief. And 3 Lebanon policemen say they're being discriminated against by the city administration. But the big story on Action News tonight is the continuing court arguments that keep 3 Mile Island shut down. Attorneys for the anti-nuclear group 3 Mile Island Alert presented their case for keeping Unit 1 at TMI closed before Supreme Court Justice William Brennan today. And later in the day, Justice Brennan continued the court order that has kept Unit 1 closed for the past several weeks. The order had planned to expire tomorrow afternoon at 4, but Justice Brennan halted the scheduled restart and set a noon Friday deadline as the date for receiving legal responses. While that process goes on, the stay remains in effect. Justice Brennan did not give any indication when he might rule on the request. In Tennessee today, President Reagan continued his campaign for tax reform, speaking before a business group in Knoxville and a noontime rally in Athens. Charles Bierbauer reports that the campaign for tax reform is being orchestrated similar to an election campaign.
In Tennessee, the president was told by a university professor, you have to travel at least 50 miles from home to get someone to listen to you. The scattered protesters. And if there is a major problem, it lies in shifting the focus of attention away from the president himself and onto the president's issue, tax reform.
During his trip to Tennessee, the president was asked about a Soviet proposal on reducing nuclear arms by 40%. The president said he wished it were more. The proposal was made by Soviet Foreign Minister Eduard Shevardnadze at the United Nations today. The minister and the president are to meet on Friday.
Rising of the boundless reaches of outer space are blocked off.
There was a close call today at Washington's National Airport. An Eastern Airlines shuttle aborted its takeoff this afternoon when a helicopter crossed its path. The 727 skidded off the runway and almost wound up in the Potomac River. The leaking gas tank beneath the shop might trigger another explosion. The death toll in Mexico City has gone over 4,100 people as work continues to clear the city of earthquake damage. Peter Arnett reports tonight that the workers are shifting their work of finding survivors to clearing away debris.
The search for survivors of last week's earthquake is over in most of Mexico City, and now the emphasis has been on saving human life. Now the priority is saving and rebuilding the city.
Millions of dollars worth of cash and supplies have gone to Mexico from the United States, and there are several ways you can help contribute to give them a hand. The latest help comes from the Catholic Diocese of Harrisburg. Bishop William Keeler has announced that this address has been established to handle contributions going into a special earthquake relief fund. Donations will be channeled through Catholic Relief Services, which has already donated $50,000. And once again, if you want to help relief efforts, you can send your contribution to this local address. Coming up on Action News, the latest on consumer prices and the latest on how to make sure you have a safe hunting season. Stay with us.
Learn authentic Okinawa Kempo Karate the way it should be taught at Heilman Karate.
Sarah Savings. Call for your application today.
In Lebanon, 3 city policemen have been suspended, each for 3 days. But the officers are crying foul, saying they're being singled out and treated unfairly by the city administration. Action News reporter Rick Schoen spoke with both sides in the case, and he files this report.
The city has said only that the three officers, Gregory Holler, Randall Fields, and Joseph Francis, were suspended for violations of police policy.
But we're suspicious as to why we're the ones that are being signaled out for this. That's what has us suspicious and why leads us to believe that this may have something to do with us being on the wage committee.
The officers believe they are being singled out because all three are on the police bargaining committee that is currently negotiating a new contract with the city. They also say the city has not been specific about where they violated the police manual. When Action News contacted the city for their side of the story, Mayor Martin Schneider declined to appear on camera, saying he would not dignify the officers' allegations with a comment. And Police Chief Michael DeLeo, when asked whether similar suspensions have happened in the past, also declined the opportunity for an interview. In Lebanon, Rick Schoen, Action News 15.
In Harrisburg, while insurance companies continue to lobby against unisex insurance rates for car drivers, more companies are issuing their initial policies that do contain the unisex rates. Nationwide insureds sent today they're the latest that filed the new rates with the state insurance department in October on the issue. While those prices will be higher, the government reported today that consumer prices rose only slightly. The August price increase was only 0.2%. That's despite an increase in housing costs. If things keep going like they have, the annual inflation rate will be at 3.3%. That's a 13-year low. In a related development, the automakers say car sales through the middle of September are up 32%. It's an all-time high for the period, spurred on by current low interest rates for new cars. The price of safety for hunters is never too high, and tonight Action News reporter Rick Schoen reports that the Game Commission is all geared up for the fall session of hunter safety camps.
The goal is to produce not only safe hunters, but knowledgeable hunters.
No problems
in Harrisburg, Rick Schoen, Action News 15.
Well, John's here with the sports, and tonight, what's going on?
Well, a plea from baseball commissioner today to try and get the game back on track, as well as a National League slugfest that won't soon be forgotten. I'll be back with the details of that when Action News returns to take a look at the sports.
It's hard to believe, but the Berkshire Mall is in its 15th year. Now you can join in the celebration and take advantage of special savings in the over 100 fine stores and services in the Berkshire Mall, Upper Level, and Berkshire Mall West. It's the 15th anniversary celebration going on right now at the Berkshire Mall.
Come fly now, see your new world at the Berkshire.
Watch Gimme a Break, weekdays at 5:30 on Channel 15.
No doubt about it. The now infamous Pittsburgh cocaine trials have badly tarnished baseball and some of its legends, both active and enshrined. Today, Baseball Commissioner Peter Ueberroth appealed to the players in the form of a letter to submit to voluntary drug testing, hoping to demonstrate to the fan that drug use is not rampant in baseball and restoring some of the national pastime's lost luster. Here's a segment of the commissioner's appeal.
Reputation is at stake, and it's our responsibility, both yours and mine, to stop this menace before more damage is done.
Of those players testifying in the Pittsburgh courtroom saying no punitive action was being considered at this time and that the commissioner's office was continuing its own investigation into the matter. Action on the diamond today where it belongs. The Mets will sit back tonight and watch St. Louis's fate after slamming the Phillies 7-1 this afternoon down at the vet behind the two-hit pitching of Sid Fernandez. Philly's only bright spot was an eighth-frame solo slam from Louis Aguayo. That final again, Philadelphia coming up way short 7-1. The Phils move to St. Louis tomorrow night to try and play the role of the spoiler. You can see that one right here at Channel 15 beginning at 8 o'clock. Elsewhere in the National League tonight, Atlanta Braves trailed the Cincinnati Reds by a pair of runs, rather. Cincinnati come up victorious, hoping to get rid of a little bit of Los Angeles' ground, leading the Seattle. No score, just starting up, same fate for Cleveland and Oakland. Now, in round ball rumors, Dennis Johnson's trade to the Indiana Pacers is history. The Celtics defensive whiz signed a 4-year, $3.2 million contract that will keep him in Boston. And in NCAA basketball, the Houston Cougars have nixed their February contest with LSU. The cancellation stems from Houston's failure in recruiting center Tito Horford and Louisiana State's success in bringing him to play there.
Can you imagine being like the Cubs scoring 15 runs
and losing
the game?
Yeah.
That's rough. John will be back in just a couple of minutes to talk about the weather forecast, so stay right there.
Eisenhower Nissan presents the 1985-86 Van Expo Spectacle, featuring conversion vans by Citation and New World, September 26th through the 28th at Eisenhower Nissan Wernersville.
Quick, it's easy, and it's the law.
Kind of interesting day out there today, John, kind of transitional. What does the rest of the week look like?
Well, a couple of clouds today. Those have cleared out of our weather picture. In fact, we're noticing some cooler temperatures as a high-pressure system moved in and kind of flushed all that cloudiness out. And the weather over the next 12 hours or so is looking pretty good. Let's check out the temperatures on the day. 75 was the high, right about where we should be for this time of the year. Currently outside, we are looking at partly cloudy conditions. The temperatures dropped down to the mid-60s. Just a trace of precipitation today in the form of a mist or a light drizzle, not much to help us out with the drought conditions. Across the Commonwealth at this hour, partly cloudy conditions still hanging around, but again, those are going to be flushing out. And take a look at those temperatures. 42 up in Bradford, around the 60s as far as the heartland's concerned. They are going down to around the 50-degree mark tonight. As we head to the satellite map, we're going to take a look at Gloria. Henri was the guy that was complicating our weather picture a couple of days ago. In fact, up until this morning, he was bringing his clouds through. What we're looking at now is Hurricane Gloria. She is 670 miles southeast of Miami, moving north-northwest at about 15 miles an hour. And as we head to the national map, I'll show you why that's concerning some of the weathercasters right now. Currently, her path right now, her tracking path, will keep her out into the shipping lanes. But the way she's beginning to move and show some signs of movement, it's becoming favorable for her to pick up from the Midwest to touch off some showers. Tonight, though, mostly clear skies as that high pressure moves in to fill our weather picture. The lows right down to about the 50-degree mark, maybe getting down into the upper 40s tonight. Winds will be from the northwest, bringing that cool Canadian air on in. Tomorrow, sunshine, highs in the lower 70s. Wednesday night, again, we've got those clouds that are coming through as a blustery cold front comes through from the Midwest. The lows are going to stay pretty much where they are. And as the extended forecast approaches and the weekend is a-coming, Thursday, partly cloudy conditions, 60% chance of showers once that cold front passes through. Chance of showers Friday and Saturday. Sunday looks pretty good. Temperatures are going to be kind of cool, Cliff, and although we're calling for some precipitation, it isn't expected to help us with the drought deficit that we have.
All right, John, thanks. See you tomorrow night. Okay. Now here's a look at the top stories tonight on Action News. Supreme Court Justice William Brennan has ordered the restart of Unit 1 at 3 Mile Island stopped until he can review legal briefs filed by all the parties involved. Brennan has said those are the top stories on Action News tonight.
I'm a detector. Smoke detector.
Will be smaller. Snavely says whole wheat milling is easier to get started and possibly more marketable than white flour. He hopes to get things grinding again by the 1st of next year. Cost of construction, $250,000. He thanks the people who live nearby him for convincing him to rebuild.
Everybody around the neighborhood is just 100% supportive. There's like 60 people came one day to clean up the mess, and they all thought, you know, they'd like to see it rebuilt and kind of hate to leave that kind of a neighborhood.
Snavely says it would have been cheaper for him to tear down the old mill walls and start from scratch. But the structure has been in the family for generations. Tearing it down would have been like destroying a part of the Snavely past. Near Brunerville, Jim Huffer, Action News 15.